It's you liberals who have lifted them up, Howard.
Paul, you conservatives make a mistake. You can't afford to strangle hope in people. Without hope, people become dangerous.
No, Howard. You liberals have let them invade our society. You give them jobs, political jobs.
Paul, you missed the point. It's only the smart ones we move up.
That makes it even worse.
No, we have to move them up. If we leave a smart one in the ghetto, he might develop into a leader against us. But if we raise him up into white society, we neutralize him. He feels compelled to try to act like us. He loses his identity and his racial anger, if he has any. He becomes alien to his brothers. They realize he sold them out, and they grow to hate him. He becomes worthless to them and safe for us. No, thank you. In fact, in his love for the creature comforts, except for his color, he's become one of us.
All right, and thank you, and happy Monday to all of you who are tuned in today. A nice day outside. Matter of fact, it's a beautiful day outside. A good day for enjoying your family and thinking about all of those who are loved ones that, as they say, are ancestors now. And a day to remember all of the men and women who have fought for our freedom here in the United States. Thank you for tuning in to Feedback. My name is Theo Broughton, co-founder of Hood Research, and my co-host,
the BD, and we welcome you to the program.
And it's happy Monday to those of you who tune in on a regular basis. And thank you for those of you who helped us sponsor this program. And if there's anyone else who is thinking about or wants to help sponsor the program, please write your check or your money order out to Hood Research or to WHPR Broadcasting Company. We don't have any objection to that. What we do want you to do, however, is to mail it to Hood Research at P.O. Box 4416. That's P.O. Box 4416, Detroit, Michigan 48204. Detroit, Michigan 48204, so that we can make sure that it gets credited for this program in particular. I want to say good morning and happy Monday to Errol and Vera and Barbara and to Les and to Ron and to Gigi. Happy holidays to you. And the BD, our list is growing and growing and growing, and we really appreciate all of those who are tuned in and all of those who call in. McLeod tunes in all the time. He's not called in yet, but we appreciate him tuning in on a weekly basis as well. And you?
And I'd like to say good morning and greetings to Ruth, Jackie, my street warrior, and Jackie, my co-worker, also Brother Fred, Brother Smith Bay, and I was, pleasingly surprised that a family member, an extended family member, happened to just flip through the channels and found us, and now is a member. So, hey, Brother Stan and your brother Rod, who's called in before in the past. So we thank you. We ask you to have friends, family, neighbors, relatives tune in and have pen paper handy for valuable information that you'd like to share. And one thing I'd like to share with you before we go into the program, the funeral services for Chris Garden Whitaker Jr. will be held at Cantrell Funeral Home, located at 10400 Mack Avenue, Detroit, this Wednesday, June 1st at 10:30 a.m. Chris is the son of Chico Whitaker, who is the host of the TV show Growing in Grace, which is seen on Monday between 12 and 12:30 p.m. on TV 33 and Comcast Channel 90. The repast will be at New Revelation Church, which is located at 8651 Mount Elliott at 1:30 p.m. For more information, contact Chico Whitaker at area code 313-221-4162. Again, that's area code 313-221-4162 for the funeral services of Chris Garden Whitaker. May you rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. And also, I want to thank Sam for tuning in, and Roy McAllister and Tom and Claire as well, and Betty. And
Brother
you
Errol Griffin.
get, yeah, mentioned him early on. And also, there's another announcement for those of you who pull up the paper in the morning. They tell me it's in there, the Free Press, and that's Warren Evans' mother, who is deceased now. There is a memorial service for her, I'm told, at the Shrine of the Black Madonna tomorrow. That's Tuesday at 11 a.m. So that's Wayne County Executive Warren Evans. So anyway, I want to move in and introduce our guest, who is a veteran himself, Douglas Marble. Thank you for joining us today.
Yes, happy morning, happy Monday, and thank you very much, Ms. Brooks.
Oh, you're welcome. And you know, we have appreciated you so much for the times that you have attended the Hood Research meetings and shared the valuable information that you have. And we're pleased to have you share some of it with those who are tuned in today. But first, tell us a little bit about Douglas Marble.
And we will continue with the program. And I'll just let you know we have an excellent technician. He's making sure that everything is running smoothly. But you can't ask for more than that. Somebody who's qualified for the position.
Yes.
So we will have Mr. Marable
But
to.
I appreciate that, and thank you very much. Well, I'm a native Detroiter. I grew up right here in Detroit on the east side. I went to Kettering High School. I wanted to become a Detroit police officer, but in 1984, there were a lot of police officers that were laid off. So our instructor advised quite a few of the students to join the military. You know, maybe things will be different in 4 to 6 years. So I joined the Marines, and 16 years later, I came home. Never turned into a Detroit police officer, but I had an opportunity to work for some fabulous people. But one thing about veterans, the day I was discharged, someone alerted me to the things that I was eligible for and what I had earned benefits. And again, what the people don't know will hurt them every day. I
Yes.
really like your tagline when it says, if people knew better, they would do better.
Yes.
And that's exactly the case.
You know, I remember a gentleman who attended our meeting one of the times that you came, and he was in his 90s, and you had gotten some thousands for him that he just, for all of those years, had not been aware of. He was appreciative, of course, of receiving all that you assisted him with. But I remember him saying, had he only known when he was a younger gentleman that he could have benefited, I guess, and done some things different.
How it could have changed his life and his family's life. Yeah.
You know, there's somebody on the line who's on the line. And I
Hello,
have a question for you. Go ahead.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How are you viewing us? What city, please?
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you for calling. Your name?
This is R.J. Watkins.
Oh, well, good morning, sir. You should be in here with us on Memorial Day.
Well, you can add me to your list, Theo.
Okay. Okay.
And also, we want to say our prayers go out to Mr. Whitaker, Chico Whitaker.
Yes. Right, right.
But I wanted to ask you, before you got too busy, if there was a member in the family that was deceased, but they were a veteran, and you don't have their information, how would one go by getting their information to receive the benefits?
Okay, well, the National Archives does have a website for those that are computer savvy. It is www.archives.gov. That's G-O-V. And then you would put the veteran's name, date of birth, social security number in there, and then sign that form after you print it off and sign it, and you mail it to the archives, which is located in St. Louis, Missouri. And within 14 business days, typically you would get 2 certified copies of the discharge. And the discharge actually is it's honestly the only proof that the Veterans Administration legally needs to see. Because it tells you who you are, where you went, what you did, and what you earned, without the veteran even being there.
Wow.
Or a lot of veterans, when they came home, they took that same document down to, I think it used to be called the Edwin Building. Now it's Coleman A. Young Municipal Building. And they had it registered at that time. I've seen quite a few discharges that have that stamp. I think it used to have the name Edwin something.
Building on it.
Correct.
Okay, beautiful. Tabidi, could you leave that for me at the front desk and leave the gentleman's information for me at the front desk? I appreciate it, Theo. You always have interesting shows, Theo, and I really appreciate.
Oh, thank you. We'll
I really
leave the
appreciate what you do.
yeah, we'll leave the information with Miss Cunningham.
Okay.
Right? That's what you
Thank you.
want, right?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay. The question that I had was there's some long name of an affliction that a soldier had, and you had spoken with him about getting a monthly check and told him that it was a disability, and he was like, no, no, I'm not disabled. That was from the ingrown hairs and scars on the face because they forced you to shave every day.
Correct. Well, once you join the military, they're going to give you a razor and a rifle, and you're going to learn to use both.
Oh,
And that medical term was pseudoficulitis Barbie. You can actually Google it, and
okay.
it'll come up.
Say that again.
Pseudoficulitis Barbie.
Okay, got it.
Is that hyphenated for razor bumps? Pretty
Correct.
much. Okay, yeah. 'Cause
Oh,
I've
okay.
had to deal
That's
with
the
that
medical
issue,
terminology.
Yes.
Oh,
Correct.
okay.
Yep.
All right. And I wanted you to share that with those who are tuned in because gentlemen don't look at it as a disability, but the military has it categorized that way. So regardless of how they categorize it, if you want a monthly check, that's what you have to file for, right?
Correct. Well, the actual pseudoficulitis, once it's erupted, it keeps you from having your gear on properly. Say a gas mask. You can't don and clear your gas mask with the razor shovel. You need to have a clean skin. So it takes you out of the training element. So they actually have you set aside, or they take you out of the training environment so that you can heal. And so you can train your skin to accept that razor.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Train your skin to accept a razor. Wow, that's really interesting. Um, when the person is inducted into the military, you said they're given a razor and a rifle. What other requirements of them?
Well, it's to disarm all of their personal belongings, all of your household personal items get shipped in a box, and then you're issued everything from toothpaste down to a uniform and boots, and taught how to live the military life.
I see. I see. Okay. Now the training. I remember there was some gentleman, particularly John Brown, who used to call this show a lot, and he's an ancestor now, but he was a member of Hood Research, and he was saying that when he was inducted into the military, he went to Fort Wayne. It's at the river end of Livernois, I guess, and this is where he was in the army, and this is where he was sworn in, and I guess a number of other men in this area. And then they went to, did they all go to the same camp, or were they shipped all over the United States? Or what?
Particularly all over the United States, but again, it depends upon which area that he served. There used to be segregated military camps
I see.
for the Tuskegee Airmen as well as Mumford Point Marines. And one of my proudest, again, I was a former Marine, one of my proudest opportunities was to meet a Mumford Point Marine who I still communicate with now. He actually served on Iwo Jima when the U.S.
wow.
raised the flag. He's
Oh.
95 years old now. Now he's receiving his benefits. Unbeknown to him back then, when he came home, he got a job, raised his family, and life went on.
I'm curious,
Wow.
why isn't the military, in your opinion, if it's so, not more forthcoming with the type of information that veterans need to know and the things that they're entitled to, or is there a resource for them? Because obviously you're sharing with us information that, and then again with veterans who don't know, but why isn't the military, or is it forthcoming and people just not aware of it?
Well, honestly, it's not the military's job to expose them of what to expect once they leave. But during the final days out of getting out of the military, they usually have what they call tap and tamp, 3-day courses where different speakers would come in from unemployment insurance and life insurance and schools and moving and storage. All of these different speakers will come in, but not a lot of people listen. But I was fortunate enough to make that transition with the retirees. And obviously, they were a lot older than me, but with the retirees sitting in this room, they listened, and they also had their wives there. So I heard a lot of different questions. And someone from a service organization was going around from table to table speaking with us, and he says, "Tell me your story." And I said, "I don't have a story." He says, "Every veteran has a story." He says, "Tell me, where did you go? What did you do? Were you ever injured? Were you ever hospitalized? Were you ever given any medication?" And I said, "All of the above, but I was never shot at." And he says, "Okay, no combat. Tell me what happened." And this happened the day I was discharged. So I was very fortunate, very, very. And that changed my life because 9 months later, I was awarded a disability for those things that happened to me during that 16 and a half years. I was able to get unemployment insurance, which I knew was available to me. And the discharge is what got me right into the post office. That was my first job being discharged. It got me right in the post office. So
Now, is the post office still a location for veterans?
yes, it is. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, you say unemployment. When a person comes out of the military, they're considered unemployed?
Well, they're eligible for unemployment insurance for 6 months.
Oh, okay. So they have 6 months to leave from wherever they were stationed back to wherever they intend to make home
Correct.
and seek out employment.
Correct.
Oh,
Or transition to directly to school, which a lot of them do.
or to school. Okay. So now, if they're in school, do they get unemployment?
Well, that's a stipend regarding whether it's the Montgomery GI Bill
Yes.
or vocational rehabilitation. There is a monthly stipend to help you adjust. Because again, along with the school, you actually have a monthly income to help you pay for your leisure,
Oh.
food and things like that.
Oh, wow.
We do have a caller.
Oh, okay.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name, how you're viewing us? What city, please?
Renee, I'm looking at you on TV 33 out of Highland Park. The benefits that the gentleman is referring to, are they only for honorably discharged veterans? And I'll hang up and wait.
All right. Thank you for calling. Did you hear her?
I did hear a question,
Okay.
and to answer that, that is correct. But just like when I was discharged, someone said, "Tell me your story." Now, even those that were bad conduct or dishonorable discharge, there's a story that goes along with that. Something happened, whether they were falsely accused or they actually did that dumb thing at 19 years old with the wrong crowd. There's a story that goes along with it. But hence, 40 years later, now he's a bishop or a deacon in the church. He's put 4 daughters through college. He's no longer that same person that he was when he was 19. But only that particular person, meaning that veteran, can tell his story and have an opportunity to have it upgraded to under honorable conditions. Then everything is available. But if he or she doesn't do anything, that label will remain with them.
Oh, so the veteran actually has an opportunity to have that changed
correct.
on his record.
Correct.
And it goes from dishonorable discharge to what?
Under honorable conditions. It won't go to honorable.
Under honorable conditions.
Correct.
Okay.
There's a panel that makes a determination They understand what he did when he was 18 or 21,
Okay.
but now 40 or even 10 years
Years
later,
later.
how has he changed his life? So it'll take character reference letters, it'll take an actual application, and they will ponder on whether they want to allow that discharge to be upgraded.
Oh, that's some very, very valuable information to know.
Now they have to be proactive without question, but are they even aware of the fact that they can have that dishonorable discharge, upgraded? I mean, as I had asked with the first question, and you said that the person has to more or less, they give you 3 days after, just before you're leaving the service to know things. So would a person in this particular case have any awareness of that, or would they find out happenstance like through this program and your conversation with us?
Well, if the people would knew better, they would do better. Most don't know.
Yep, yep.
I mean, that's something personal within themselves that sometimes they don't even share it with family members. And untimely, they may pass away, and they know their father served, but now they find out the character discharge. See, they're the only ones that know what happened.
Oh, wow.
They're the only ones that know.
So it would be beneficial for all family members to talk with their relative who is a veteran, whether it is your father, mother, brother, or sister. They need to talk to the rest of the relatives in the family as well. And I just have to say this. Our tax dollars provide the budget for the military. So, like it or not, you deserve to apply for the benefits. You deserve and need to assist your family members who have earned those benefits. Now, there are benefits that are provided for family members. Can you share some of those with us too?
Well, the actual benefits are for the veteran himself, but if a veteran is married, he has to be at least 30% to include his wife and children.
What does that mean, 30%?
30% disability could be a knee injury or some type of mental anguish, some type of back injury. I'll give it to you like this.
Okay.
The pseudoficulitis typically starts at about 10%.
Okay.
And then tinnitus, which is ringing and buzzing in the ears, that's a 10% rating.
So now you're at 20.
So now you're at 20.
Okay.
Actually, he can't add his wife or his children until he reaches 30%.
Okay.
But there are some veterans that get 50 or 100 right off the bat. But if you don't even know about the program,
You can't apply.
then you go your whole life.
Oh,
missing out.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, there's something about, this is not about disability, but if a married gentleman goes into the military, that there is a check sent for the wife and children. Is that part of his paycheck?
Well, he can actually make out an allotment. And with the banking system the way it is now,
Yes.
when he gets his paycheck, he can have money diverted directly to his wife's bank account or mother or sister to help provide for their lifestyle.
And that's from his paycheck, or
Correct.
that's okay,
Correct.
from his paycheck.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, I find it interesting when you say mother or sister, because one would expect normally, or naturally, for a spouse to receive it because they're in that union.
Correct.
But for them to extend it to the mother, daughter, and I guess that would mean mother, sister, and I guess that could be brother as well.
Correct.
Okay. I find that very interesting. A question I have is, there's a family member who's a college student, and she joined the Army more or less, but now, and I don't know the full details of it, but maybe just, let's just say on a superficial level, you can answer this for me. Now she's being released, or she's going to be released, because they say she has bad feet. Now, she didn't know this, coming up. She's like 18, 19 years old. But in a case like that, is there anything else a person can do? Because she was looking forward to the military for two reasons. One, to be a part of the military, but as well to help pay for her college or finance her college. So is there any other alternatives for someone like that who, went in there with the right intentions, but, they were just charged with something that, they didn't know they had and have no control over as well?
Okay, so that means her career is probably going to be cut short. Okay, I'm not aware if it was explained to her that due to this injury or this condition materializing, that she can file a disability claim. More than likely, she will be thinking about getting a job and going on with her life. But that would be the recommendation: is to seek out a service organization, or to, with convenience-wise, they can actually do it online. But I would actually ask that they actually seek out a service organization. And they're also located down at the federal building, on the 12th floor. That's where the Veterans Administration is, and that's where I worked at one time, to learn all of the things that veterans are eligible for. Because I typically ask, I say, who's receiving VA benefits in this room? And about 3 or 4 will raise their hand and say, I'm getting medical care. And I said, well, is that it? And they says, yeah.
Wow.
I said, so you didn't go to school? Well, life didn't allow me to go to school. I said, what about purchase a home? Well, I hadn't done that yet. I said, what about life insurance? We all need that, correct? I said, what about the monthly income? And they said, what monthly income? And I said, well, when you say VA benefits, it's life insurance, educational benefits, VA home loan, purchase a home, and the monthly income. But if all you stop at is the medical care, that's all you'll receive.
Wow.
It's up to the individual.
Now, as you were saying, I just kind of relate her case again. She can maybe file. I mean, now I don't know the length of time from when she started to this point now, but you say there's a possibility she may be able to sign up for some sort of disability thing, or is there a window, like if you are in less than a year, you may not be eligible for it? I'm not really sure how that aspect of it works.
During peacetime, you would actually have to have served 90 days or more.
Okay.
Or at least 2-year term during peacetime.
Okay.
Or 90 days during a period of war. But again, the proclamation that Congress has charted, we're still at wartime right now. So someone serving in the military and being injured in boot camp and honorably discharged in about 30 to 45 days is eligible to apply for a disability.
That's if
The time limits go out the door. Okay.
Now you say if the injury occurred during boot camp, but now also what if, because they told her basically, and I'm getting this from another party, so that's why I don't have direct contact with her, but they told her, of course, if you can't use your feet, or if they're improper, or if there's something wrong with them, then there's no way you could serve in the military beyond that.
Right.
So now you're saying that like 30 to 45 days, if something happens during boot camp, so now does that mean if not only if the injury occurred during practice at boot camp, but also the fact that it may have been something that was discovered along the way of training in boot camp? So let's say she had a prior condition that she was unaware of, but it was discovered during boot camp, and she's been in for 30 to 45 days. Does she have any eligibility in that?
Okay. Now, quite a few people do have high school injuries playing volleyball or baseball. That's a pre-existing, okay? They actually declare that.
Okay.
Because again, the entrance exam is probably going to catch that. They ask, had you had any injuries at any time before you joined the military? Well, most people remember if they had a high school injury, so they would disclose that, and it goes in their record. Pre-existing left knee. Okay, sometime during the training, if the training exacerbates that injury, well, then they take ownership of it. They knew of it, now it became worse. Okay.
And I would imagine there's some medical documentation that would indicate that there was a pre-existing condition. So if there's no medical documentation, and the person can be unaware, we could be unaware that we have kidney issues.
Correct.
I mean, there's just a lot of things we don't know unless they manifest. So in a case like that where there is no documentation, a person has maybe had 30 to 45 days. Because what I'm trying to do basically is, and I just had this conversation yesterday with someone about it, and she's distraught over the fact that she can't be in there.
Yeah.
So anything that I can find out, to share, with her, then I feel obligated to do that. Now we do have a caller online, and then we'll continue. Yes, a couple of callers. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you give us your name? How are you viewing us, in what city, please?
Good morning, my wise and progressive friend.
Hi, Sam. Thanks for calling.
Why don't someone go to a congressperson and or senator and try to get them to intercede with the Veterans Administration for the benefits? Has any veterans organization, sir, gone and tried to intercede with maybe changing the law? For example, why not have what you're saying put in writing? Require that the VA put that information in writing so that the veterans would be eligible to read some of this. Because a lot of those veterans might would not read it. And to give it to them, what you said, 3 days?
Yeah.
Before it should be mandatory that they give it to them 6 months ahead of retiring from the military. There are solutions, but it doesn't seem like anybody want to take them and make them.
Well,
can you please comment on that, sir, about the veterans organizations interceding for some of the veterans on some of this information?
Can I comment first, Sam? Those like Buchanan and Bush's buddies and all the generals who are trying to keep as much as they can and make as much money as they can during wartime, tearing up countries and rebuilding them while our people are looking for employment, they don't care. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly, and that's why we need to have people that we elect and that goes to Congress or to as a senator or representative. They should have a veterans relation person on staff. Again, veterans are I support them. I was around for the Vietnam era, and my arm kept me out. So I can remember asking the recruiting sergeant down at Fort Wayne, what does this Armed Forces qualifying test, what does it mean? He said it means you'll be carrying a rifle instead of sitting behind a desk. I said, that's what the hell you say. Until I raise my hand, I won't be doing either one of them. So we have, the veterans are very important. 2, 3 of my relatives. In fact, my great-grandfather fought in the Civil War.
Wow.
Okay? So, I admire and I respect, and I would like to see somebody make an effort to change the Veterans Administration. What denial, not denial. What am I trying to say, Theo? The neglect of veterans. Have a blessed day.
Thanks for calling, Sam.
All right.
Okay. Your turn.
I do appreciate that question. And again, it boils down to the people that we send up as representatives. It truly does. It always has. They advocate on our behalf.
Yes, I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's why we are so thrilled to have you here with us to share this information that too few, and I gotta say this, too few in the African American community don't know.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How are you viewing us? What city, please? Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
Your name?
Okay, I'm a veteran.
Can you turn the TV down in the background so you can hear us better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. One moment. Is that better?
Yeah,
Yes,
go,
and
go
just
ahead.
talking to the phone.
Hey, I'm calling from Highland Park, Washington, 33.1.
All right.
I want to say my name. Now, I've been out the service over 30 years. I'm a Vietnam vet. I've been on the BMG in all my time. They claim I don't have post-traumatic stress or anything, but
I still hear helicopters miles away. You can't walk up on me sleep. I hear a rat peeing on cotton. But then they say I don't have no problems, and I lived in a hole in the ground for 1 year in Vietnam. Only had 3 hot showers, and I still had these problems. And I've been getting to run around through the VA period. I've been through the American Legion and stuff, and they ain't really did too much of anything for me. So what can I do?
Well, I've got an office down in the city. It's on the east side. It's at 3000 Gratiot Avenue. That is the St. Vincent de Paul. Used to be Mother Waddle some time ago.
You have a pen or pencil where you can write this down?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay. This is okay. You ready?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas Marble, Mable.
Okay.
He has an office. Okay. 3000. What street?
Correct. Gratiot Avenue.
Gratiot. 3000 Gratiot Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the St. Vincent de Paul between MacDougal and Mac.
Is there a contact number?
You hear? You
St.
hear that?
Vincent de Paul.
Yeah, the St. Vincent de Paul building. His office is inside the St. Vincent de Paul building.
On the 3rd floor.
On the 3rd floor. Okay.
All right.
On the 3rd floor. Okay. You're open what time? 10 o'clock?
It's Mondays and Wednesdays
Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 o'clock in the morning. He opens the office
until 2 p.m.
till 2. So 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday and Wednesday.
Okay.
Is there
Okay.
a phone number?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes,
Phone
Mr.
number,
Douglas Marble.
area
Office
code.
in St. Vincent de Paul building on the 3rd floor.
Yes.
Correct.
The address 3000
Mondays and Wednesdays at 10 a.m.
Yes. Now the telephone number, the contact number,
Area code 586
area code 586
744
744
2739.
2739. Okay, I'll say it again. Area code 586 744 2739.
Okay, 586-744-2739.
Correct. And your name, sir?
My name is Abdul Malik.
Mr. Mallet?
Malik.
Mali. Okay.
Okay.
All right. He'll be looking for your call.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
He can call prior to that. That way we can get some of the preliminaries out of the way before he comes down.
Okay. Did you
Okay,
hear?
I will. No problem. I will give him a call and give him all the data and information.
Okay. Great. Okay. And don't forget your DD-214. I guess he know that.
Oh, I know about all that.
You know
I
about
gave him
the
all
DD-214.
information he needs.
Okay. All right.
I got some information.
All right. Thank you for calling and tuning in.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name, how you're viewing us, and what city, please?
Yes, my name is Michael, calling from Detroit, Michigan.
Thanks for calling.
I was listening to the show, and I find it very disturbing that today I'm still hearing that our veterans are still begging the government to help them as much as they help them. It's ridiculous. It seems as if that you will see veterans gathered with signs stating their madness about America. I really don't know what is expected from this country.
Well, let me tell you, do you
what
have
is
a pen
expected
and
we haven't
Michael,
seen.
do you have a pen and paper? You have a
No,
pen
I do not.
Well, get a pen and paper, because what is expected of the country is to provide the benefits that have already been approved and outlined for our veterans. The issue is, and why Mr. Douglas Marble is here with us today, is to let the people in our community become aware of the benefits that are available to them that they may not have been knowledgeable of when they left the military. Now, you
Shouldn't
see a
a
lot of
letter have been
veterans,
sent to these people?
pardon me?
Shouldn't a letter have been sent to the veterans?
The
Shouldn't
information was
commercials?
given to them prior to their leaving the military. Some of them attend the sessions, and some of them decide, oh, I'll check this out later on. Okay, and that's not a reason why they shouldn't know and why they shouldn't check later. Some of them do, some of them don't. However, if you are coming across veterans who are not receiving benefits and they're complaining about not having enough benefits, you can give them Mr. Marble's telephone number because they probably have some money coming to them that they aren't even aware of. We hear that three-fourths of the people who are homeless are veterans. Some of it is because they just don't know. And some of it is because they have some mental medical issues that need to be taken care of so that they can find out and they can do better.
It seems to me that when I talk to a lot of veterans, a lot of them, they were ecstatic going to the Army because in the first place they wanted to go to the Army because they had the right to kill.
Well, that's
And a lot of them just wanted to fight side by side with the enemy.
Okay.
They never thought about that.
Mm.
You know?
Okay. So now
so today,
the ones that you're talking to now, the ones that you're talking to now,
begging the enemy, it's like begging the enemy that they was fighting for.
Okay. Okay, so
it's
where
ridiculous. We need a higher way of learning, thinking. That then we can get a better way of doing.
Well, I think to your point, and Sam Black mentioned this when he called about having some sort of written documentation, something just made available so that, let's say, for instance, those who don't complete or don't really focus in on those last 3 days of instruction and information, if there was something written, even if it was sent, and I don't know if this is possible either, if they could just send it to, if they have an address or something of a veteran, because I think that if they're forthcoming or if they want to be able to make, well, I'll put it like this, they want them to serve, the men to serve in the service. So it should be just automatic to have a follow-up of some type, because these people do, and in many cases, make the ultimate sacrifice, whether it's losing their life or a limb or something. So it seems the government, although as you say, the politicians have a lot to do with that too, to follow up and say, okay, well, this person made themselves available and put their life at risk, sort of like police officers do. What can we do to show them we appreciate that? And that's kind of what I take from it, Michael.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
well, I don't think we can show our appreciation by us gathering up to constantly vote in the same people that was in office while these problems are still existing and they're not doing anything for them.
Now, see, that's our responsibility.
We haven't got whipped enough.
Mm-hmm.
And what's even worse is that many of them don't even serve in the military.
And don't have a clue.
Correct.
Right. So it's on us to vet the candidates. That is, learning as much as we can about them and stop putting the same people back in office. And that's our responsibility. But I need you to get
it's up to black folks to take care of our veterans.
Right. That's what Mr. Douglas Marble is here for, to take care of our veterans. He's not opposed to anybody else.
We can't do that waiting on the government to do it. We can't do it waiting on the government.
That's why he has an office at 3000 Gratiot, Michael. That's why I want you to get a pen and paper.
The government.
Pardon me?
His office is dealing with the government.
That's where our tax dollars are. You would
Correct.
prefer that
we
our
learn
tax
to quit paying taxes while we still paying taxes, and we see what they're doing to our veterans, the people who gave their life and limbs. We're still sitting up here paying the country taxes.
Right. That's not the issue we're speaking about this morning, but I'd like to see you not pay taxes. But anyway, get a pen so you can take down his number, and you can share it with all of those veterans you tell us that you're talking to. Because it's also up to them.
I know a veteran personally, and I'm going to do that. Please give the number again. I'm going to get his number to him, and I'm going to follow it through with him and see how it turns out.
Right, Michael. You got to learn how to use the system for your benefit. Learn how to use the system for your benefit. These are our tax dollars that need to go to our people who have served time in the military and for their loved ones. You got that? You gone?
No, he's still on the.
Okay.
Okay, just we're gonna allow you to get pen and paper, and Mr. Marble's gonna repeat.
Okay. Telephone number once again. Area code 586-744-2739. 586-744-2739.
His name is Mr. Douglas Marble.
You straight?
Douglas Marble.
Yes. Please have your friend to contact him to make an appointment and tell us that you're going to call us back and let us know about the success, okay?
Okay, one more question. The guys that be on the service drive areas, freeways with the signs and the vet and so forth, do you all ride around and give this information to these people?
No, we don't.
Someone should, because they're all over the freeways.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe you found yourself a new vocation.
I work all day. I'm off now just because of this so-called holiday, this massacre to remember.
Okay.
One thing I will add about this holiday, it was actually originated by black people in South Carolina. This was, I believe, right after the Civil War. So actually, it was began by black people, but it was more or less co-opted by, the whole country. But it began with us, so there would have been no Memorial Day, or wouldn't have happened when it did had it not been for us. So I just want to make that footnote.
Okay.
I memorized the action.
Okay.
The willingness, but I don't recognize the untrained thought of what they're fighting for, who they're fighting for.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your input this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be looking for your report, okay?
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
You're welcome. Thanks, Michael.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name, how you're viewing us, and what city, please?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Theo, Davidi, and to your guest, this is Betty.
Hey, Betty.
And I'm viewing you on Channel 91, Comcast.
Yes, ma'am.
And, I have been out for a walk, Theo, and I'm glad I made it back in time to hear your guest speaking about the soldiers and the veterans. Because my husband, he served in the Army.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yes, and he was in Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and he was in action combat.
Oh.
And he said they went through hell over there.
Well, you probably have some money coming that you don't know about, Betty.
You know what? That's what, honey, I got my pencil and paper. And I will be giving that gentleman a call.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having them on.
You got the number?
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name, how you're viewing us, what city, please?
Hello, am I on there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I got the number. This is the 586-744-2739, and I should be giving this to the homeless vets while I'm out.
That's correct.
Okay. What about the ones that have retired? I don't know would it help my dad or not. I was just asking.
Absolutely. Anybody that's a veteran, whether they're homeless or not.
Okay, that's what I needed to know. I was going to call and give that news to my dad.
Oh, yeah. Right away.
Thank you so much for what you do.
You're welcome, hon.
I love you all.
We love you too, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name, how you're viewing us, what city, please?
My name is Jackie and Channel 33.
Thanks for calling, Jackie.
I have a question to ask. I have a friend that somehow, for some reason, he's not getting all of his benefits because the records were burned up. Have you ever heard of a problem like that? And what happens? He's been going around and around in circles, and nothing is happening because they continue to say the records were burned up or something.
Correct.
Are you aware of situations like that?
Yes, ma'am. There was a fire in July of 1973 in St. Louis where the building was destroyed, but they didn't throw the records away. They moved them. Okay? 40 years later, 2013, now it was a small article stating that if you were told your records were burned up, there's technology now where they can recreate those burned, water-soaked records. But you have to personally request it because they don't have the staff to redo all of the records. Obviously, some people, there may not be any family member to request them. So you do, yes, ma'am, have to personally
how do
request
you
it.
personally request it?
That's a standard form 180.
A standard form 180?
Yes, ma'am.
And where do you get the standard form 180?
You can actually Google that, or you can request it from the Veterans Administration. And again, for any information that I divulge or any question that you may have, you can call 1-800-827-1000. That is
Okay, but in order to get this records that were burned up in, you said it was burned up in what year?
July of 1973. Yes, ma'am.
July of 1973. But now they can reactivate the records or do something. And all I have to ask for, or have him ask for, is a standard form 180.
Yes, ma'am. Standard form 180. They'll mail it to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for calling.
Hello, caller. You're on the air. Would you share your name? How are you viewing us? What city, please?
Ikarima Gore. Hey, Tabini.
Hi.
Thanks for calling.
Ikarima Gore. I'm watching on the computer.
All right.
Shout out to Hood Research and the veterans. Most of them that I know that I have worked with, they're homeless. So I'm going to pass this information on to my job. I'm retired now, so I'll pass the information on, and hopefully they can take advantage of some of this.
Wonderful.
Okay,
wonderful.
but shout out to Hood Research. I know you're going off.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thanks for
All
calling.
right.
Ikarima Gore.
All right. Thank you, Nicarima. Okay. Well, time really flies when you're giving out valuable information, and maybe we can do this again.
Sure.
I want to thank all of you for tuning in today, for calling in today, and I want you to know it's not necessary for you to know everything. What is necessary is for you to know how to find what you need when you need it. We at Hood Research seek out as much information as we can to help us all make better informed decisions. We want you to join Hood Research. Join and help us to seek out as much information to lift up our community, be of service to our community, and definitely financial benefit to our community.
Yes, if you want to be nothing, do nothing. But the only problem with doing nothing is you never know when you're finished.
We want you to know that Mr. Douglas Marble has taken out his time today to come and share this valuable information, and thousands may be waiting for you. Tune in again next week.